What's up, Upland? This is Zarianah, your Upland newbie, bringing you another episode of What's Up Upland. In this episode, I'll be talking about, of course, what's up in Upland and giving you a Queens neighborhood special. What does that mean? That means I'm going to go through a rundown of all of the floor prices right now on the USD side and UPX side in the Queens neighborhoods. And there are a lot of them. We're going to go over some newbie tips. When you are wondering why isn't your property selling, I'll give you some hints at why. Alright, let's go ahead and jump into it. You know, of course, I have to ask, if you haven't already, please subscribe. If you feel like tipping me, feel free. And of course, you don't have to, but hitting that like button always helps, and leaving a comment is even better. So what's up in Upland right now? We have some Upland events. I talked to you guys previously about banking sends. Well, you can do that, or you can get your .01 Spark right now on the Queens Discovery Tour. Hurry up and get registered if you haven't already. Registration does end Wednesday, right before the tour begins, which is, it starts at 11 o'clock PT on the 27th. So 2 hours prior to that, it's going to end. Make sure you get registered if you want to participate, and I highly suggest you do. It is 2,000 UPX to register, but you reclaim that if you participate in the tour and go to all of the locations. You do have to pay to travel to Queens if you're not there, and you won't get that travel expense back. So that's one thing to keep in mind. If you don't know how to register, make sure you go click on the treasures part and the little three dots at the bottom of your screen, and then hit treasures, and then you have to make sure you hit that globe and go to Queens for it to actually come up. So a lot of us will like hit the treasures and it doesn't actually appear right away because we're not in the right city. So make sure you do hit that globe and go to Queens if you don't know how to do that. Alright, here is another thing that's going on in Upland this week. We have Genesis Week Ornament Contest. So this is where players are actually able to design and submit a structure ornament, create it in Blender, so you have to have some Blender skills, that is of the theme Lighted Upland. So for any people who go ahead and participate in this, you can make changes to the structures, but the biggest thing I think is really cool about this is that you guys get to include a hologram that's going to be projected from the structure's rooftop. And you only get to choose one structure, so, you know, apartment building, ranch house, or whatever, but just one is what you can pick for your design, and you only get to enter one time. If you do win, your model can actually be sold right in the Upland store, and you'll get 70% of the proceeds, which I think is pretty awesome. So if you're interested in that, go ahead over to upland.me and check it out. You have until Wednesday, May 4th, 11:59 p.m. to actually submit something. And what do I got next? Alright, another thing going on in Upland. You can participate if you're really fortunate. So this is for the very fortunate. I wish I were fortunate enough to have 55 block explorers. If anyone wants to give me some, I'll take them, and you can sign them up with me for my shop. I would love to participate in this, but I do not have that many. I have just that one, as you see at the mild little gold chain block explorer that I think is pretty awesome. So anyways, if you are interested and you have 55 block explorers or access to them, and you want a chance to go ahead and open up a block explorer shop in Upland, you have until Thursday, April 28th. It's coming up soon at 11:59 p.m. to submit your application. So head over to upland.me for more information and to get the link to the application. Alright, now we're going to check out the neighborhoods. So let me go ahead and take a look. Let's go by USD first. So these are all the Queens neighborhoods, and it looks like, what do we got here? It looks like Elmhurst is the least expensive on the USD side. So this is USD. And you can see what it's going for on the UPX side. So when I did this earlier, and there were a lot of cities to get through, or a lot of neighborhoods to get through, so it took a little bit. So someone may have grabbed that $4.04 one, but this is what it was looking like. Hollis and a few other Jackson Heights are at $4.09. So you can see there's quite a few that are in the $4 range. So if you're looking to see where your neighborhood is right now, let's just take a gander, everyone get a look, So you're like, where's my property at? So if you have properties in MassPath and you're like, what should you be selling your property for? You can see you're in that $4.19 range right now. But as we go up, so I can see Howard's Beach is down there. Let me make sure you can still see that one. Okay, so let's go up and bring Howard's Beach up. So we're looking at, when we get to Howard's Beach, now we're in the $5.25 range, and it goes up from there. So everyone can go ahead and take a look, just so you can see if you have properties in some of these neighborhoods and you're wondering, compared to everybody else, what you're looking at. This is again sorted by the dollar side right now, so going upwards from lowest to highest. And right now, if you look in there, I'm looking for there it is, Fresh Meadows. So earlier, Fresh Meadows actually had a 6,000 something UPX one, and I grabbed it because I was like, that's under what it is. That's under what it is on the dollar side, and then otherwise it'd be up where it is right now at that 7,652. So I was the lowest. It was the lowest, and I just took it. So I thought that was a good grab, considering that right now it's like $7.35. So I could flip it in 7 days. I think I have to wait. I can't remember what I have to wait my status, but whatever the case is, I think it's 7 days. I can flip for dollars and make a profit if it stays in that range. Okay, so keep moving, and we keep going up a little bit. You can see right here there's a big Forest Hills. That's kind of a gap right there, not a huge gap, like there's $7.56, and it's the UPX side's 10,000, almost 11,000. Interesting there. All right. Oh, am I going too fast? I want everyone to get a chance to look. Let me make sure it is. I'll back up a little bit. So make sure you take a look and see where your property might be. Like, I wanted to see, well, when we're getting up there in the price, you'll start seeing some like, oh, wow, look at that. Okay, so let's keep going. And okay, so we're towards the bottom because some didn't have any. So you can see getting down towards like the really heavy end side. Where is it? Hollis Hills? That's not the one. Holliswood, there it is. Holliswood is $93.45. Pretty expensive for not even making it into collections. And that's all because of, I think, Radish Head and his node. So quite pricey, and then $71,000 already. So it's one of the most expensive neighborhoods right now. Like underneath it, it's Breezy Point, which is really expensive, and I think there are only a couple properties that are actually for sale there. So that's the dollar side right now in Queens. And then if you look, Long Island City and Kew Gardens are exactly the same price right now for dollar side. And I'm not sure which one is higher in collections. You should guys go check that and see, because maybe they're very similar. They're very close in price right now, but for the dollar side, they're exactly the same. So yeah, and then Rockaway Beach, you can see, is actually cheaper than Holliswood. All right, so that's the dollar side of Queens right now in all the neighborhoods, and so you gotta run through. You've got to see that. All right, let me go over, and you got to see the UPX side too, but I'll show you now sorted by UPX, and we're just looking at what's the cheapest going, and then what's the most expensive, so you can see where are you and where can you price your properties, right? If you're in Queens, and you're just curious to what your neighborhood looks like. So here are the first however many this is, and we can see South Ozone Park was going for the cheapest at 5,450 UPX as far as UPX are concerned. Jackson Heights down there, and it's like they opened with Jackson Heights and Woodside, which is actually more expensive. And you can see, like, I don't know, Jackson Heights is just like, I wonder how long it's going to take to pull up. But all right, that's that. Let me scroll down and show you more. I thought Howard's Beach would do better. Anyways, St. Albans. All right, so I think right here is a good place to stop and look. So this is kind of going to the mid-range. You can get down there, and what do you guys see? Kew Gardens, you see that? Wait, did it switch? Let me make sure. I don't know if this is moving. Is it? Oh yeah, it's moving, but it's moving slowly. Okay, I was like, I wanted to make sure my screen wasn't stuck. Alright, so it did change. Let me go back a little bit and just make sure you have a chance to see. So, alright, yes. So, Whitestone, Kew Gardens, Floral Park, those are getting to the $7 range. You see that? So this is interesting over here. Floral Park has this one that's $4.83, and then the UPX side is $7,000. So might be worth taking a grab at that. Someone may have already taken it, but you can go look. UPXland.me. And as we continue on, Jamaica Hills made it into the 7,000 range in UPX. It's not too bad for Jamaica Hills. A Little Neck not being too bad. But if you want to get into where the good stuff is, like where's more profit, I guess, or more UPX being sold, we're getting up there. So I don't know what this Ditmar Steinway area is, but 10,000 UPX and $11. And I'm like, what's going on in there? I don't know what's there, so maybe it's special. Like, is it a collection? I don't remember that name. So anyways, that's that area. And then Bay Terrace is looking pretty steady there, like 11,000 over the UPX side, $11.55 rise, so pretty balanced. And then you can see Astoria, 16,000. I feel like I got my property for that when I was purchasing it secondary, and that was like a while back. So I'm not sure if that's going that great. Yeah, Douglaston you can get for $17. Broad Channel. So Broad Channel's looking like a little bit balanced there. You can see 23,000 and then $24. It's not too far apart, but it is more right now on the dollar side, so that's promising a little bit. Okay, so I hope this helps where you get a look at Queens and the neighborhood value. You can see, like, if you get down here, 68,000 for Walkaway Beach. And of course, like I pointed out already, Holliswood is more expensive. It's so funny. Neponset's pretty expensive too, or not expensive, but as far as, like, you know, what people are pricing, trying to get their returns, not too bad over there. Okay, so now you can see where, if you're in Queens, scroll back through and, you know, just make sure you're pricing your properties accurately for your neighborhood. And who knows what streets you have, so be careful with that too. Okay, so that's my Queens special, because that's a lot of neighborhoods. You see how many that is? Some didn't have any for sale, and that's why they're blank down there. So, okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk about is tips. So, my newbie tips for you all, here they are. So if your property isn't selling, it could be that it's just overpriced, and I think that's the price or the problem a lot of the times, is that people don't realize what other people are already selling for, especially on the USD side. So if it's like super cheap on the USD side, that's like one of the reasons, like USD has better deals. And also you could be priced, like, you know, or like along the lines of others, but that could be the problem as well, where there's just like tons of people in line selling at that price, and you're just going to have to wait your turn to actually get a sale. You can also be in a location that's just kind of like and there's better deals out there in other places that people, like, maybe when they want collections that are not that far above your location's price, and so that just might be the case where, you know, no one's really looking in your neighborhood yet. But if you're in certain cities, like LA, where people like to treasure hunt, every area might be a good area eventually, because people will have to get all over that place. So just don't worry, you just might have to be patient. So another reason is that people might be just holding on to their UPX or their money for a new city release. So sometimes just before a city is opened, people kind of want to, they want everything they can to buy in the new city, so they just stop buying for a second. So that might be what's going on. All right, I hope this helps. This has been another episode of What's Up Upland. If you haven't already, hit that like, hit that subscribe, leave a comment if you like. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate you guys for watching. Take care. Happy hunting.